What do you want? You here for the money?
What do I want the money? Look, still read this.
Bullets A1 and A2 enter the right lung, causing collapse. Cause of death, blood loss and trauma.
The movie begins with two guards from a security company named Fortico putting cash into the security van. While on the job, a cement truck pulls in ahead of them. A gunman steps out along with the rest of his team as they begin to attack the truck. They force the guards outside by lobbing flash grenades. Meanwhile, police were informed, and the robbers started pulling the money bags out of the truck, but gunshots were heard, and someone said he shot a kid. Then robbers leave with the money. 5 months later, Patrick Hill applied to Fortico as a van security guard. Terry, the manager, reminds Patrick Hill of the incident. He tells Patrick that he's being hired to replace the guards who died, but first he needs to pass firearms tests. Bullet trains him, and though Patrick barely meets the requirements, he passes and officially becomes a guard. Later, Patrick meets other guards, including Hollow Bob and Boy Sweat Dave. Their first money delivery goes smoothly. The next day, while out with Dave, they are ambushed by armed robbers. The robbers communicate via walkie-talkies and force them to stop, threatening them with Bullet as a hostage. Patrick is told to load the money bags into a pickup truck, but he intentionally drops one. When one of the gunmen approaches, Patrick quickly kills him and then takes out the rest with perfect accuracy. He chases down the leader, corners him in a nearby building, and kills him too. After the incident, Terry tells Patrick he'll be put on desk duty for at least a month. But Fortico's CEO Blake Halls praises his actions and suggests a promotion. Later, Patrick is called to review footage from the earlier heist to see if he recognizes any of the robbers from the recent attack. He focuses on one specific gunman, but tells the others that nothing looks familiar. It's revealed that the two agents work for someone named King, who believes H will lead them to the group responsible for the first robbery. The other guards praise H for his bravery, and he thanks them before getting back to work. 3 months later, things are running smoothly until H and Bullet are on delivery. Their path is blocked by a bike, and armed men surround them. They set off a smoke device and force Bullet out of the truck. But when H steps out and shows his face, the gunmen seem to recognize him and quickly back off. Back at headquarters, Terry can't understand why the armed men just left the money after seeing H's face, but Blake cuts him off and tells H he's on track to build his reputation and should keep doing what he's doing. Bullet talks to a guy named Sweat Dave and suspects there's more to H, calling him a dark force. Later that night, H goes to a guard named Dana's house and finds a stash of money. He interrogates her by firing some warning shots, and she confesses that she stole some of that money from a job a few months back. H shows her 2 photos of his parents and warns her that if she lies to him, there will be serious consequences. We then flash back 5 months earlier. H is spending time with his son Dougie, who is visiting the U.S. While on vacation, H gets a call from Mike, his former boss from his criminal past. Mike, who was part of a group, asks H for help with one last job and says H doesn't need to be directly involved. She drives with Dougie near the docks where the robbery will happen, only telling Mike the direction the truck is headed. While H is getting food, the robbers arrive. When robbers were forcing Dougie to get out of the car, he was trying to call H but could not reach him. One of the robbers forces Dougie out of the van at gunpoint. H sees what's happening and rushes to his son, but a scar-faced gunman shoots and kills Dougie before H can save him, and then shoots H several times. H has been in a coma for almost 3 weeks. When he wakes up, he learns Dougie is dead. H meets with his ex-wife Jane, who blames him for their son's death. Later, H confronts Mike and his crew. They all feel guilty about Dougie's death and agree to help H find the people responsible. The group digs into the criminal underworld, moving from one group to the next until they interrogate a man who reveals the names of some criminal brothers. H is then led to a building where these brothers are involved in various horrific crimes. Without getting any useful information from them, H kills the brothers. Then Mike tells H out of fear that they cannot kill people like this.
Can I speak candidly, boss? I don't think we should do this again. You're not in your right mind just now, but we can't continue to handle business. It's got to be an inside job.
It is not good for business, and also explains this could be an inside job from Fortico. After this, H gets his new identity as Patrick Hill from a lady. He made these documents to get job at Fortico. After starting his job at Fortico, H observes the guards there and asks his assistant, Kirsty, to get him some files. These files include background checks on the guards and an autopsy report on Dougie's death. We are introduced to the crew responsible for the first robbery, a group of ex-Afghanistan veterans who feel mistreated in America. They are led by a man named Jackson, and his team includes Carlos, Sam, Tom, Brad, and Jan, the man who killed Dougie and shot H. During a party for Jackson, the crew plans their truck robbery. During the robbery, they notice H and Dougie arriving. Sam orders Dougie to get out of the van and lie on the ground. However, Jan loses control and kills both guards. When he realizes Dougie saw his face, Jan shoots Dougie dead and then shoots H. After their last heist, the crew is planning one final robbery, aiming to steal over $150 million. This will be split between them and their insider, who turns out to be Bullet. Jackson and Tom review the plan for weeks, worried about Jan since he tends to go off script. But Jackson believes he'll stick to the plan when it matters. The crew heads to Fortico, where Bullet admits to H that he's the inside man tipping them off about which trucks to target. Bullet shuts off the cameras and goes into an abandoned building. Jackson's crew, wearing bulletproof suits, ties up H and gets into the truck. The robbery goes smoothly until a panicked guard hits the emergency button. Chaos breaks out. They blow open the money vault, killing everyone inside. After slaughtering half the people, one of their men gets injured. Once they shut off the alarm, they open the gates, let their last man in with a truck, and start loading up the cash. Meanwhile, SWAT has been called and will arrive in 8 minutes. The cops have blocked the entrance, and SWAT is on the way. H manages to grab a gun from one of the attackers and shoots him in the leg. He then puts the man in a chokehold until he passes out. H quickly puts on some bulletproof gear and walks up to a man loading cash into a truck. He forces him to take off his helmet and, seeing it's not the man who killed his son, shoots him. The rest of Jackson's men are pinned down by Dana and another guard. Bullet reveals himself by running over to help Dana, but when he's given a gun, he betrays them and kills both Dana and the guard. In the hallway, Dave tries to get up after being shot, while Terry is forced to come out. H appears and engages in a brutal fight with another attacker. Though he gets injured, H manages to kill the man. Jackson's men grab their injured comrade and head for the getaway vehicle, but H starts firing at them with an automatic weapon. Dave gets up and shoots the injured man, finishing him off. Just then, H hears a click behind him. It was Bullet shoots him and knocks him down. Thinking the guy is dead, he reloads and calls Dave, telling him the shooters are gone. But when Dave sticks his head out, he gets shot with a full magazine. As they drive away, H spots John and realizes he's Dougie's killer. They lock eyes, then ram their armored truck through 2 police cars. SWAT teams and helicopters chase after them. After taking some minor damage, they enter a building and seal off the entrance. Jackson gets injured by a shot from H that grazes his neck. When they have to ditch the truck, Jan kills Jackson. He and Bullet take the money down an elevator and head underground. They load the cash onto quad bikes, drive 3 miles, and reach a car. Bullet realizes John is a traitor and tries to kill him, but John acts first and shoots Bullet in the head. John takes all the money, escapes before the police can find him. Later, Jan is seen in an apartment with all the cash. He gets a phone call from inside the bag. H suddenly appears behind him and tosses Dougie's autopsy report at him.
Bullets A1 and A2 enter the right lung, causing collapse. B1 penetrated the liver, and B2 ruptured the spleen. Bullets C1 and C2 lacerated the heart. Cause of death, blood loss and trauma. What do you want?
The liver, the lungs, the spleen, the heart. I want your liver.
Ah, fuck.
Spleen. By the way, his name was Dougie.
He leaves the apartment and meets Agent King, who confirms the job is done and that they can likely recover the stolen money. H gets into a car with another man and drives away. And that's a wrap for this movie. Let me know what you think of this thrilling movie in the comments section. Thanks for sticking around until the end. I'd be really grateful for your support on my channel. Please subscribe, press the bell icon, and give this video a thumbs up. I see you in the next one.